Readers of Omniscient Reader will definitely see the closeness between this main character and this major supporting character. In the Korean version, we could determine their closeness on the way they address each other. Gilyoung calls Dokja as Hyung, which is what males call older males who are close to them, while Kim Dokja talks to the boy with an "a" suffix to his name, as in Gilyoung. And this is used on younger people who are close to the speaker. They're so close that they're pretty much like family. They have so many moments that it's easy to see them in a father and son relationship. Well, you could argue that their relationship could also be seen as something like between brothers, or between a child and his dear guardian. I won't even be surprised if you'll ship them. But Dokja as a daddy is just cuter. So to me, they're daddy and baby boy. Their first encounter was on chapter 1. Inside the subway, daddy and baby boy were sitting right across each other. When Dokja patted the kid's head for the first time, he claims that his intention was to get the attention of the constellations. He sees himself as a hypocrite for doing that. But on later chapters, we could see that his little gestures of affection for the child seem so natural and automatic. There's no way he's just acting in those moments. Besides, Dokja is the type who lies to himself. He claims that he's no savior, but he guaranteed the boy's survival by handing over one of the grasshoppers to Gilyoung. Gilyoung's the first one he saved. Dokja is so in denial when he does heroic stuff, and baby boy knows that. The perceptive Gilyoung is the one who understands Dokja the best so far. He observes Dokja even during intense situations. He was also so close to the truth when he asked Dokja if he is a god or a protagonist. Dokja denies it, of course, but I think he is both. Dokja is pretty perceptive towards Gilyoung too. He notices even the little things, like when baby boy wore the cool cap at the cinema dungeon. Perhaps it's easy for these two to understand each other because of their similarities, like with the trauma related to their mothers. Gilyoung's background wasn't explored much, at least not yet. But I believe it's safe to tell that Gilyoung didn't have a happy life before this adventure either. Meeting Dokja must have been one of the best things that ever happened to him. Baby boy admires his daddy a lot. Gilyoung believes in Dokja so much that it moved the constellations to tears. He follows Dokja and is willing to do whatever his daddy tells him to, without question. He wouldn't care doing crazy or cruel things, as long as it's what Dokja wants. Dokja feels bad when asking favors that he thinks are too much for Gilyoung, but Gilyoung absolutely doesn't mind. After all, Gilyoung's not only willing to kill for Dokja, but he's willing to die for him as well. Though of course, daddy can't let that happen. Dokja had sacrificed himself to save Gilyoung by handing over the boy to Yoo Jong-hyuk during the third scenario. At first, he was trying to kick out the jerk from the green zone, but after seeing baby boy's frightened expression, he decided to do something inconvenient because Gilyoung's safety comes first. Of course, Gilyoung didn't want that. Dokja fighting to death made our Gilyoung cry. Dokja can invent whatever reason he wants on why he's been protecting Gilyoung, but we know he genuinely cares for the boy. Whenever Gilyoung's in danger, it's usually Dokja who carries him to safety. It's like he's the official Gilyoung carrier. So far, there were only 2 occasions when it wasn't daddy carrying Gilyoung. First, it was Hyun-sung in the earlier chapters, but Dokja was not yet physically strong that time. The other was with Hee-won, and that only happened because she offered. Whenever Gilyoung is in trouble, By default, it's Dokja who comes to his rescue. When baby boy is scared or is experiencing some emotional struggle, Daddy is there to comfort him. And if Dokja cannot take care of Gilyoung himself, he makes sure that there's someone else who will do it for him. Sometimes, Dokja seems to be a little overprotective over Gilyoung, but he's the first one who proved to the others that kids can't be underestimated. Gilyoung can fight alongside him in the party, and the boy is sometimes his trump card in battles. He's very proud of baby boy. His little gestures when Gilyoung does something cool show it. It's hard not to be proud of Gilyoung. He's pretty matured for his age, and he never acted like an annoying brat. Dokja watching Gilyoung talking with insects is like a father watching his son play with his friends. He cannot relate to them and feels awkward being with some of the boys' friends. But he's happy to see his son enjoying himself. Gilyoung was sad when he had to let go of his friend Taitano. It's not shown in the webtoon, but in the novel, Gilyoung actually asked Dokja's permission if he could bring the giant insect along with them. It's like a son asking his father if he could adopt a pet. Well, Gilyoung asks Dokja's permission on pretty much about anything, even before vomiting. Gilyoung prioritizes Dokja over everything. If his companions are hurt, he runs to Dokja first. When he senses danger, he calls on Dokja first. During the time when there was no more food left in the subway station, he offers his food to Dokja. He can't let his daddy starve. It's pretty similar with Dokja. When Dokja was about to distribute the food in the subway station, he handed one to Gilyoung first. Then when Dokja had to start charging coins even to his companions, he only expected Gilyoung to pay for the second food the kid got from him. Baby boy has enough special treatment that he was willing to consider the chocolate bar from earlier as free. But as influenced by Hee-won, Gilyoung didn't want free food. Gilyoung may seem emotionless most of the time, but he's the one who had shown the most affection towards Kim Dokja so far. Baby boy is happiest when he reunites with Dokja, and is most relieved when he confirms his daddy's safety. He's the only one so far who has hugged Kim Dokja, and his daddy returns those embraces, of course. He doesn't let go of Dokja immediately. If not hugging Dokja, sometimes he holds onto Dokja's leg, or arm, or hand. What a clingy boy. Gilyoung has also experienced sleeping on the Dokja thigh pillow. So lucky. Baby boy is so attached to his daddy that he even dreams about him. How cute. Dokja can't help himself from seeing Gilyoung as a child. He was extremely bothered when Gilyoung mentioned about being younger. It's like, for him, Gilyoung can't be younger than his current age. There's no denying that Dokja feels responsible for Gilyoung. When Gilyoung was asked about where his parents are, Sang-ah and Hyun-sung could have been there for him. But no, it was only Dokja who stepped up for the boy. So, as mentioned around the beginning of the video, Kim Dokja is totally Lee Gilyoung's daddy. And that's all for this video. There are more moments between the father and son in the later chapters. Dokja also has many moments with the other characters. If you want more videos like this, I would appreciate likes and comments. Thanks!